So previously we discussed your choice of digital SLR, how you're going to put your face in front of some glass. Now we're going to get to the other part of your digital sex appeal, your voice, and specifically the technicals of how to bring it to a call or to a stream. We're going to talk USB, XLR. We're going to talk about how to choose one. Yes, we're talking with the microphone. Right, so we talked about your lens and how to get beautiful on camera. We're going to talk about how to use a microphone, but this particular video is all about how to choose a microphone.
Rock the microphone.
So you could use the microphone that comes with your laptop. Some of them are actually quite decent. They have some tricks and things and placement and software that kind of makes them sound all right. And in fact, I often think that sometimes the way people use their mics that they've bought, they might as well have used their laptop mic because that does a whole bunch of processing for them. But an external microphone has a couple of key advantages that are probably worth considering. An external microphone will always sound better if done right. An external microphone will allow you to control placement. Like, hey, how you doing? I mean, try to do that with a laptop mic. And lastly, you have a gajillion options when it comes to choosing microphones if you decide to go external. Maybe you want a lavalier mic so that you can roam around. Maybe you need something that's nice and deep. Maybe you need something that you can place completely out of frame. Maybe you want a shotgun that lets you capture from a distance. You have choice when it comes to an external mic. So, what are the things you need to look out for when choosing an external mic? The primary technical choice you're going to face is, should you get a USB mic or should you get one of them fancy XLR mics? USB mic, really simple choice. Microphone, USB cable, into computer, shows up as a microphone, you're good to go. Plenty of options on the market, plenty of options that weren't there many years ago, but the Rode NT USB is a fantastic option. The Audio-Technica AR2500 USB, the OG Beast, the Rode Podcaster. There are a bunch of expensive and cheap options. USB is one option, definitely. Your second option is to go XLR. That is a microphone that runs over an XLR cable into an audio interface, which then runs into your computer via USB. Your options here, pretty much any microphone that you want. So you're asking, why would I choose one over the other? Why would I go an XLR microphone and give myself a bunch of complication? Why wouldn't I go USB? Totally, man, you raise a most excellent point. So why would you choose one over the other? If all you're ever going to do is just do calls and you're going to just record occasionally as well, go nuts, USB mic, probably a little bit cheaper for you as well, and you then have what you need. If, though, you have grander plans, if, though, you were going to use that mic for other things than just plugging it straight into a computer, say you wanted to become a podcaster and you were probably going to have multiple microphones going into like a Rodecaster or a Zoom HN1, well, you're going to want XLR mic so that you can kind of mix and match things. If you wanted to record direct to video and you wanted a microphone that can run into your video, well, that XLR mic can probably go into that video camera using a little bit of trickery. If you wanted to have a lavalier mic, maybe you want a mic that you can just pin to yourself and move around, well, XLR might be an option there as well.
Maybe you're Celine Dion, I'm a chameleon.
The guts of it is, if you want versatility that grows with you, consider an XLR mic. If all you're ever going to do is record audio onto a computer, USB mic, plenty of great options to go with. Now, how do you choose that USB mic or that XLR mic? Let's talk about patterns. You're shopping around for all these microphones. How do you know what microphone is fit for your voice? What microphone is designed for picking up voice versus other things? The number one way to know whether it's a voice mic is what the polar pattern looks like. It's the little picture that you see on the side of the box. Do we still have boxes? It's the little picture you see that shows you the pickup pattern of that microphone. If we're doing voice, we're looking for a cardioid pattern. We're looking for a pattern that looks like this, and that shows you that it's mostly going to pick you up from the front. and then there'll be a little bit of pickup from the sides, but it will reject other sounds. It'll reject sounds that are coming in from behind, which is a good thing because you don't want to pick up noise that's not your voice. Another pattern to look out for is the supercardioid pattern, which is essentially the same kind of pattern, but it might pick up just a little bit from behind. What you want to avoid is like this guy, is like an omnidirectional pattern, is a microphone that picks up all directions. These are fantastic for picking up ambient noise, but really bad for picking up your voice. So the microphones I'm going to recommend are all essentially cardioid microphones. They will pick up your voice directly. All podcast mics, all mics that say they're voice mics are cardioid mics, but just pay attention to the pattern that you pick that the microphone is in, and that'll help you know whether that's a good voice mic or not. All right, so my goal when it comes to these videos is to educate you as to what's available to you and why you should make certain choices, and to give you information so that you can make better choices. Now, I do have a few recommendations though that'll help you kind of narrow down if you want kind of the go-to mics in different categories. If you're going for the USB mic, like a direct USB straight into your computer, the Rode NT USB is a fantastic mic. They also do an NT USB Mini. The Mini is like $150, and it's a great cardioid pattern mic that goes straight into USB. Audio Technica does an ATR 2500, which is a direct to USB mic as well. There's the OG Rode Podcaster. There are dozens of mics that will do the trick. I'm not a huge fan of the Blue Yeti. If you're looking at a Blue Yeti, we'll talk about that in the other video where we talk about mic placement and how to actually use a microphone. I think that it's a totally over-engineered mic and unnecessary. They're your kind of no-brainer choices. If you're going to go XLR, and if you're going to go a microphone that's going to plug into an audio interface and then plug into your computer, but then it's going to have a microphone that can be used for other things. The go-to kind of voice, the cardioid mics, are the Rode Pod mic, which is a beautifully built mic. If you pick that thing up, it weighs a ton and it's just a solid mic. That's like a $150 investment, which is pretty good. The Audio Technica AT2020 is an old school favorite, and it's been around for a long time because it's a fantastic mic as well. Both of these are around the 150 Australian schmeckles mark. That's kind of where you're going with that. Now, with those microphones though, you're going to need an audio interface. You're going to need the ability to run power to the mic, some phantom power to the mic, but also to run it into a machine. There are a bunch of options in terms of audio interfaces that'll take your mic. Rode does one called the A1, which is the AI one, which is it's often bundled actually with the NT1, I believe. That's a great audio interface. These are all about the $150 mark as well. Native Instruments does a complete audio one, both $150 mark. Something a little bit cheaper is a Behringer Euphoria. They're like $80, and they kind of do the same trick as well. A little bit cheaper build, which is why you're paying less. But that'll give you $80 will get your XLR mic into your machine. But the things you're looking out for when it comes to an audio interface will they provide phantom power? So will they give your microphone the power it needs to give you the signal? Will they have a USB interface into your computer? Will it do headphone monitoring? Almost all of them do, but watch out for that. Do you get a headphone jack out so you can actually hear yourself as well if you want to test what you sound like before you start recording? And all of them will have an additional line out, which is a kind of an important feature, and we'll talk about possibly why that's a useful thing. I will point out one little superstar that most people overlook, and it's the Audio Technica ATR 2100. This is like $120 Aussie mic. It is a USB mic. It is a cardioid pattern mic, but it is also an XLR mic. So it's one microphone that will go straight into your computer via USB, and if you want it to, it'll go out via an XLR jack so that you can use it for future purposes, right? That's the Audio Technica ATR 2100. Now you know the basics of picking a mic for your voice for calls and for streams. If all you're ever going to do is a call and a stream and just plug it straight into your computer, grab a USB mic and be good. If you want flexibility in the future, you want a microphone that you can use for other things and plug into other devices, then an XLR mic that will plug into an audio interface will do the trick. Make sure you get a microphone with a cardioid pattern, a pattern that will pick up just your voice and kind of reject the outer voices. There is a video that you can go to that shows you how to use the mic and how to not suck and how to not look like this guy. How many people do you see who grab a mic and they buy a mic and all of a sudden you can't see their pretty face? Let's talk about how to use your mic properly in that video. It has been awesome fun making these videos. I'm having such a good time making them. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. It keeps me fed. I'll wait. The subscribe button is somewhere. I'll wait for you. I'll even sing.
Ooh, yeah, from the top of my dome as a rock, 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 rock.
Man, I love that song. Bye. Maybe you wanted to. My goal with these videos is to educate you, is to get you to a point where you understand what you're buying and why you're choosing what you're chewing.